And there we go. It says we're live. So, hello and welcome to Real United Talk. We are joined tonight by Dia and Diedrich. How you guys doing?
Hello, everyone. Doing good. Yes.
Sure. Yeah. Everyone, Diedrich, how you doing this weekend?
I'm good. Bit nervous about tomorrow.
Well, I'm glad you said you're good because you've been quite vocal on Twitter for the last couple of days. Yeah. You've upset a couple of people. All right, I have noticed. So you calm down now.
Yeah. Let's go with that one. Let's go with the easier choice.
Yeah. Dia, still of the same opinion about West Ham. Yeah, you still there?
Just waiting for tomorrow.
Great, absolutely great.
I'm quite optimistic for tomorrow.
I've titled this video because a great man once said it's squeaky bum time, and I think the phrase is no better suited to what's going to happen tomorrow. So I know we all said our piece after the West Ham game. So, Dia, we shall go to you. Are you still confident about the match tomorrow? And are you still confident that it's going to go in United's favour?
I think I'm very confident because I saw Ole post about going to attack. Especially, I think we thought of Greenwood will be starting. Like of Luke Shaw, maybe will be. I think he will make the most of it because this is a statement. It's a last match of a season. He has to prove it. He has everything on the line, and I think he has to take the initiative to stick all the players together to go and attack Leicester and don't allow any gap. In the defense, we have to be solid. We have to provide in the attack. Everyone should be committed to this because the fans want it. The fans is expecting the club to raise a certain level. So I think he will give everything tomorrow against us. I'm quite optimist about it.
Good.
To be honest.
Good. So at least your spirits are still up from the West Ham game. Straight away, Kylie says loss incoming tomorrow. Our team song should be 11 red bottles sitting on a wall. That's good. That's good. Diedrich, you again, you said we was going to win tomorrow. You still confident of that?
I didn't. I said we were going to draw. I said an exciting 0-0 draw. I don't know. The closer it gets, the closer it obviously is. I'm probably going to say I think we will just about scrape by. I think statistically we need, we all want a win, but a draw will do. I'm not. By the way, before anyone on Twitter starts going mental at me saying, "Oh, bad Man United mentality," I said we need a draw. I didn't say we want a draw. Just clearing that up there.
Twist on words. I know what it's like. Trust me, been there, done that. So yeah, going into the game tomorrow, all we need is to not get beat, right? So I mean, George says there that a loss incoming tomorrow. I'm not confident. The way we finished that West Ham game, that last 20 minutes, the players looked like they were dead on their feet. They are in desperate need of a rest. So I think in midfield that he's going to spring a surprise. I think Matic will get dropped tomorrow, and I think McTominay's going to come in for a bit more energy. I think that's the only change that is possible, really. Would you make any changes then, Dia, with that? I mean, it's obvious De Gea in goal, yeah. Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Brandon,
I think
Pogba, Bruno, Greenwood, Rashford, Martial. So the only possible change could be that CDM role. So what do you think then for team?
I believe in the CDM, he can bring Fred maybe. I believe Fred. I don't think McTominay because Fred he has a link with in the defense with Pogba and so on with Bruno. The way they attack now, I think Fred can bring. I think the change he can bring Fred.
Okay, well, that's interesting. Diedrich, how about you, mate?
Well, De Gea is obviously a starter. We can't, unfortunately, we can't put Henderson in there yet. I'd bring Wan-Bissaka back in, same back to Lindelof and Maguire. If Luke Shaw's fit, I think Luke Shaw has to play. Although I do prefer Brandon to Luke Shaw going forward, I think Luke Shaw just kind of steadies it up a little bit. And I wouldn't take Matic out for this one. I'd play him because figuratively, well, all he has to do is finish this one more game. Once we get through this match, they're going to have like another 2 weeks off anyway. So what's the point resting someone for one match?
Well, I read. I'm not sure if it's right. I read that September 12th.
Yeah, that was going to be something I was going to pull up with you later on. I was going to ask you, would you? I forgot to say earlier on when you asked us.
Right.
If we get into the Champions League tomorrow, would you almost? I know people are probably going to say no to this, but me personally, I'd bin the Europa League off after that. I'd just literally play the youth all the way through it, see how far you can get into it, because that means how long would the Europa League go into? Maybe deep into August, then we're starting again.
Weeks,
if we get into Champions League tomorrow, I'd bin it off as quickly as possible. So it means more recovery time between now and the start of next season. Obviously, people are going to say no because they want to watch us play. It's something to look forward to at the minute with everything that's going on, but that's what I'd do. I'd bin it off.
Right, so Dia then, got in. I mean, Diedrich's just asked there, if we make Champions League tomorrow, do we bin the Europa League then? I mean, what's your thoughts on that?
I think if we make Champions League, yes, it is a great prestige to be in the Champions League for Manchester United, because this is the culture of Manchester United, to be in the Champions League. Like Fred, I read an article about Fred, like he said that Man United should always be in the Champions League, yes, but to be in the Champions League, when you're going to play, like Dedrick said it last time, when you're going to face Real Madrid, when you're going to face Barcelona, that will be very hard because we don't have the depth in this squad. I think we lack quality. We only need to sign in 2 or 3 quality players.
Yeah.
You need this massive. It is massive because in the defense, we need someone. In the midfield, we need in the central defensive midfield, because Matic, you can't. How many years? You don't have so much to go on. He has signed a contract, yes, but we need someone like who can play with alongside Pogba, give him the freedom so that he can roam around with Fernandes, where he can prove something. We need someone solid in the defense, and as the right wing also, we need Sancho, which is very important, and maybe we need a striker as well, of not to challenge, not to remove Martial, but to challenge him. So you need to be in the Champions League. You have to have this quality of players, because we can't do all this to be in the Champions League. Yes, to qualify, like Dedrick said it, but you have to have a certain level to be in the Champions League to perform. So it is very important.
Well, I'm going to go against both of you, right? Because I agree with Jay Hart here. Jay Hart still wants a trophy.
Trophy would be nice, but what's the point potentially sacrificing the start of next season over it? Because the Champions League will be playing at the same time, and if any English teams do go deep into that, we'll have more recovery over them, which might, be a bit more advantageous. I mean, it's not like Arsenal are going to really challenge us at the beginning of the next season, is it?
No, I mean, I can see your points there on both subjects, but for me, I believe that whatever competition United's in, their aim should be to win it. All right. I suppose I'm a bit stuck in my ways like that. But there are opportunities to rotate that squad for that Europa League. There are a good 4, 5, possibly even 6 places that can be rotated. We've not seen Mata used much, no matter what people think. Lingard again, no matter what people think. Fred's got to come back in. Scott's got to come back in. Don't know how long Bay's going to be out for. I'm not sure how long Transebe and Jones are going to be out for. Romero to come back in as well. Igalo's got to, he's going back in January. Got to give him a good run of games. So, I mean, for me, Jay Hart says can't be like Spurs just to be content in the Champions League. I've got to agree with that. Jessica says, no, you can't do that. Maybe rest some and rotate, but I do think they need to have a go. Yoda's
we're
on the
5-0 up
win.
from the first leg, aren't we?
Yeah, we're 5-0 up from the first leg. I mean, there will be rotation for that first leg, no doubt about it. But I need to put this up there because I haven't spoken to Chris for ages. Chris is a big fan of mine. I don't know why. Me and Chris like good pals.
Get the merchandise flagged out to
him. So yeah, I mean, I can see the need for rotation. I can see the need for rest. So, you know, I mean, Chris says here, if you support this club and don't want to win trophies, go to another club to support, in my opinion. Right? That's quite big because United's mentality, going back, well, earliest I can remember is like late 80s. Has always been about winning. No matter what they're in, they aim to win it. And I've always been like that. Whether it's a League Cup, I count the Charity Shield as a trophy. Many people don't because it's a curtain raiser, but as far as I'm concerned, it's a piece of silverware. It goes in the fucking trophy cabinet. So to me, it's a trophy. Yeah, I would say rotate to a degree, but not like the whole fucking 11 at all. But going into it, obvious danger signs or a threat from Leicester for me is Vardy. Al, I know Harry Maguire pretty much had him in his pocket in the last game. Do you think it's going to be the same sort of battle again, Diedrich, or do you think he's going to get one up on him this time because he's playing at King Power?
I'm fucking hoping so. I don't. I said last week I think he would, so they kind of flip flop for me to say no. I think he should. I think if that can't motivate him and just think to himself, maybe let's finish strong. It's at his old club as well. If that didn't need to give him a bit more extra motivation, I think I'm hoping he does come out on top on that little battle.
Do you see anyone else as a threat for Leicester?
Demarai Gray.
Yeah. Now, has he been starting? Is he a starter in that Leicester squad?
I think he has been starting recently.
Okay.
Well, a lot of the I think Chilwell's out though, and I think Maddison's out as well. I think they're out with injury, so that could play into our hands. I don't know about that centre back that they've got. Crazy looking guy. No, no. The other one, it looks a bit crazy. I don't know whether he's still suspended or not. I think they bought him at the same time as we bought Maguire. He's I can't think of his name. I can't pronounce it. Is he Greek or Turkish?
Yeah, I know you're on about. Yeah,
I'm not too sure whether he's still suspended. Hopefully he is.
George says he's out. Kylie says he's out.
Kylie says he's out.
Yeah, he's still suspended apparently. Jay Hart, I mean, Dia, what do you think there? I mean, any other threat apart from Vardy?
Yeah, I think but Harry Maguire, I think he will rise. He will rise in this match, yes, because he has the confidence. I think you're playing at the Power Stadium, so I think he will rise to the occasion. I believe. But Vardy is very unpredictable. You never know. He normally scores against United but I think it should be solid at the back, but it's a massive game for us.
Well, George Carl's bring up a good point here. De Gea is 100% the most important player tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
After what Kasper Schmeichel said in a news recently, backing him up, right? I don't know if anyone's read it. There was an interview.
Yeah, he said you've not stood between the goals, so you can't criticise.
Yeah.
But wasn't his dad one of the people that criticised him?
Exactly. Yeah, I was going to bring that up, Big Brick. Well done. Yeah, Peter said along the lines of you can't be making those sort of mistakes at Manchester United. So all eyes will be on De Gea. He has been in the spotlight recently. A lot of people. Where's Diedrich gone?
Where's Diedrich?
Oh, he's left. A lot of people that seem to have forgotten. Oh, he's back now. Seem to have forgotten. What? No, I don't know, mate. I never touched her. I'm not sure. I've never touched her. a lot of people seem to forget that De Gea was probably the most important person under LVG and Mourinho. So, for people to forget things quite quickly is astounding to me.
He was carrying Man United on his shoulder.
Yeah. But I think when people do make mistakes, right, it should be highlighted to a degree. Exactly. I don't think you need to just bombard them with absolute hate and everything like that. Abuse.
Yeah, no one's above criticism.
No, exactly. I mean, even the best, isn't it? You can't avoid it. George Carl says Diedrich got annoyed that there wasn't a Diedrich Barmy army, so he left. Okay, fair enough. Chris says, I think the most important aspect tomorrow is confidence. If those players aren't confident, they can win. We're done for. Now, that's a good thing, right? Because after the West Ham result as well, do you think confidence is going to be low going into this? Or do you think Solskjaer's got them in the right frame of mind to get what they need? So, Dia, what do you think?
Sorry?
Is confidence low, do you think, in that United squad? Or do you think they're going to be all right?
There are some part of confidence too, because there are some parts which are a bit low, I believe, because the game when we play against Southampton and especially against West Ham as well, there was a level of when we, for example, the last goal at Southampton at the corner. So there are certain level where players are not quite confident, because there's a lack in the defense. There is a certain. It's quite very not. There are some points which need to be considered.
Fair enough. Diedrich, what do you think? Confidence should be all right.
About tomorrow?
Yeah. I mean, look at the last three results.
I think. Right. I think with confidence wise, you see, I honestly don't know. I think the Chelsea result helped us massively. If not for that, I would say confidence might be a bit low. But it's a weird one because we're third. I mean, I know it's not where we want to be. If we were sat in fifth, we'd all be fuming, but there's like a point in between. So I can't see him being that low. I can't see him being. They'll be disappointed they didn't get three points, because that and the Southampton match would have pretty much had this sorted up by now. But if he can't get him up, if Ollie can't get him up for this one last hit at it tomorrow, if can't get him, fit and firing for it, I think that might be a bit of a bad thing. And I'm massively Ollie in, but it's time to nut up and shut up, really, isn't it?
Right. Now, George has mentioned something here. I thought this afternoon. He says we have to keep attacking, and Agent Johnny Evans will help us out with a mistake or two. All right. I remember going back a fair few years ago when Darren Gibson was loaned out to Everton, and we needed Everton to do a job against Man City, and somehow Gibbo turned up with 1 or 2 goals against Man City just out of nowhere. Do you think? I mean, looking at it, do you think Johnny Evans may, accidentally do something? Is it possible? You think?
I think his missus still works for MUTV, doesn't she?
Yeah.
So
yes,
maybe.
Again.
Sorry, Dave, I interrupted you there. Go on.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I think because he was the one who, when I read it, he was the one who advised Maguire to go to Man United.
Yeah.
He was the one who advised him. Yes, when Maguire signed for Man United, he was the one who advised him. So somehow he will. He has that weakness over Man United, especially in this situation.
So the best way, then, I mean, you look at it. I mean, Jay Hart said it earlier. Leicester's philosophy is about the whole team, not about an individual, right? They are a unit in every sense of the word. So if there are any weak points in that team that Rashford, Martial, and presumably Greenwood can exploit, where would it be? Because I think if the left back ain't playing, I think possibly the left back is going to be the weak link.
Definitely.
Soyanku, I think his name was.
Soyanku.
Yeah, Soyanku. And Evans. I don't know, mate. I'm really 50-50 on this, Diedrich.
Yeah, you said you
I
think
can
we were going
see
to lose,
United
didn't you?
winning. Yeah, I can see United winning it, but I can also see them losing it.
Yeah,
And I
with that
don't
kind of
know,
team at the minute.
you don't know what you're going to get at the minute, do you? Really?
No.
We were flying until that FA Cup match.
Yeah.
And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, it just seems like they've hit the floor again.
Well, I mean, Bournemouth were an interesting one, wasn't it? Because even though we smashed them, there was still, even like when we went 1-0 down, fair enough, I felt confident we were going to beat them, but it was still a bit like, it was still a bit of a punch on the chin, so to speak. It was still a bit, not alarm bells, but it made me see a lot of things. But then as it's gone on, it's been like, maybe we're not literally as good as what we think we are. I mean, I think we're definitely good enough to beat Leicester. Don't by any stretch of the imagination, even the full strength Leicester, I think we're good enough to go and beat. But it is, we are literally capable of going there tomorrow and beating them 4 or 5-0. But we're also capable of going there and losing 2-0.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is the thing, isn't it?
Where
I mean, we're talking about mistakes and where the weak links are at Leicester. I mean, United. Let's talk about them. There is a weak link there, I think, at the minute, because you don't know what you're going to get with De Gea at the minute.
Yeah.
Normally, so solid, but the last 3 or 4
Normal.
games, he's looked dodgy.
Especially in the top corner with a feet. Normally he's very strong, but these days I don't know what's happening. I think it's a level of concentration, like we talked before. Like you have some solid defenders like Maguire, you have Lindelof, so he has dropped form. But when Smalling was here, Jones was here, he was all focused. He was focused for every shot, everything. But now you have defenders, world-class defenders. You brought Maguire here. You have Shaw, you have Bissaka, who's probably for me my player of the year for Man United because he's been very consistent. He's been very good lately.
Yeah.
But
So
for
you've got no
Gea,
problem throwing him in goal.
I don't have any problem for De Gea in goal. I believe in De Gea because you have to give him his time again because he has been here when we were on our downfall, to be honest. But he needs to race again because you're Man United club. You have to perform. And I read about the ex-United coach. I don't know what his name is, but he said something about De Gea. But because when he left Man United, De Gea form has started to go down.
Heard about the ex-goalkeeping coach?
Yeah,
When Mourinho was there, wasn't it, or something?
Yeah.
I think we brought in Burnley's.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I think so.
So, Diedrich, I mean, weak point for you in that United team? Anywhere you'd be worried about?
Don't want to seem like I'm being overly critical, but I think Matic might be there to be got at because we've all seen how different he can be. He can either be that one who literally calms everything down and is really influential, or he could be just somebody who just literally just gets completely bypassed for speed. So I think he's there to be got at. De Gea, let's not pretend that what's going on is actually going on, but at the same time, who do you bring in? You bring in Romero. I mean, a lot of people say he's like a really good second choice goalkeeper. I've never rated him. I even remember when we first started playing with him, and I think he messed up against Swansea for that dude who used to do the weird celebration like Panther. And every single time I've seen him play for us, barring that Europa League when we actually won it, there's always I'm a lot more nervous if Romero starts. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, he conceded that one against Norwich, which were a bit like that were a bit odd. And then I think he also conceded a suspect one against Chelsea when Rashford scored that free kick from like 30 yards. That were also from Batshuayi. That were also a weird one. So I think you've got to go with De Gea. Although I think I wouldn't. I think he'll have his head screwed on tomorrow. I heard 100% because he'll know what's at stake. I think if anything, he'll want to redeem himself.
Well, I do think if he drops De Gea tomorrow for the final league game, it'll raise questions. It'll raise 100%. Eyebrows. No doubt about it. to me, that would come across as though he's lost confidence again.
He has to stick with Diego.
Probably wants to.
Yeah.
Probably wants to drop him.
He probably does, yeah. But I mean, how's it going to look to the press and the fans
Exactly.
dropping for the last game? Isn't it? It's not going to paint a pretty picture. So let's get some comments in here. Jessica thinks Romero great. George Carl says his cat could have saved the mount, and he don't have a cat. The Mason Mount shot was terrible. That was terrible. Monday's headline will be David De Gea dropped Henderson in, says Hart. There was a good question here from Chris. It was, how do you rate this season if we finish third and win the Europa League? For me, I think that would be a fantastic season. Just looking at it overall, the squad depth, how we started the season, the injuries we've had to deal with as well. I think if we finish third and win the Europa League, that would be a fantastic season for Ollie. What do you two think?
Yeah, I think it'd be an okay season.
You'd be content with that, would you? I mean, Europa League's going to be hard to win. George Carl says it'll be failure. Right, explain.
I don't think it'd be amazing. I don't think it'd be fantastic. I think it'd be okay.
Yeah,
because you've got to look at how far off we are behind. The fact that if we do get into Champions League tomorrow, which it isn't the benchmark for our club, let's be completely honest here. It'll be okay. Still, I mean, although I did say earlier on, if I wouldn't mind us crashing out of the Europa League, only because I want us to go hard next season and try and get back to where we should be. The fact of the matter remains that if we do get into Champions League, we won't have done it by a country mile. We'll just literally scraped in. We'll have scraped in. And also, we'll be I don't even know how many far apart we are from City and Liverpool. Until we start chasing down them two, rather than third and fourth, it's not going to really be acceptable, really, is it? Let's be honest. I mean, we're a team in transition. Yeah, I get that. Completely understand that. But at the same time, finishing third by the skin of our teeth and getting the Europa League, which is what you get for winning the Europa League, get a trophy, fair enough, but you get into the Champions League. I don't think it'll be fantastic. It'd be good, but I wouldn't say fantastic. Fantastic for me is winning the Premier League.
Dear, what about you, mate? I mean, you're nodding your head all through that, so yeah, totally agree with it.
Totally agree with Kendrick. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, fair enough. So I must ask then. I'm going to ask you both. When Mourinho won the Europa League, how did you feel about that? I mean, because I was quite ecstatic about it because we never won it before. It was the only one that was missing.
I'd be a bit of a hypocrite now if I didn't say I was happy. I think we were all happy because of the fact that obviously it's a trophy, like I said, but we got into the Champions League. I think Mourinho that season prioritised it. I think when we went away and lost to Arsenal, when Welbeck scored the header, I think it meant that we couldn't go for the Premier. We couldn't go to try and get top four, so we had to win that. So I think that's why a lot of us were happy about when we beat Ajax. But look at the difference in what happened after that. Look at where Ajax went on to go. Look at what happened to us. But I was happy with it. It was a double, but it was the poor man's double. It was the League Cup and the Europa League. And you've obviously got to pay homage to what happened a couple of days prior to that, don't you? What happened in Manchester with the arena ball.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, dear, go back to Mourinho then, winning Europa League.
Yeah, when he won the Europa, I thought everything was turning around when he won the Europa, because after quite long we did not win any trophy, except under Van Gaal. But the European football was trying to. We are going back to European. I thought when Pogba was emerging, there was Ibrahimovic. There was a certain key where we have characters in the club which can bring trophy back to Man United. I had this feeling, but when everything break down with Paul Pogba, Jose Mourinho, Tony Marshall was benched, it created all a negativity. So, but I had hope that we would have settled back and be back on top. But unfortunately, it did not happen.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
I think the way people explain their expectations, right? I think people they twist words. When you put it on Twitter, they twist words and they twist it to make you negative to it
yeah.
because they want you to follow what they're doing, right? They
I
want
think
you to
it's more
believe
done
that what they're doing is right.
Negativity makes views, doesn't it?
This is it, mate. This is it. Chris says he was happy because we got back into the Champions League and finished our European cabinet. See, now that I find that interesting because he put the Champions League first, then the European cabinet second. So yeah, again, you know, the Europa League will always be the farm league. Well, no one says it's a fantastic competition. It's a pain in the arse competition, but it is a pain to win that competition.
It's
It
a
really is.
banana skin. It really is.
Yeah.
Because you can play against the big teams and get through, but then you can get beat off Dynamo dinner ladies. It's a very weird one.
But then Jay Hart says better a farmer's trophy than nothing. And I completely agree with it, mate. I always believe whatever United are in, the aim should be to win it. Whether it's with a weakened squad, whether it's with a young players, it pisses me off, right? It really does when United chuck out an 11 that's all kids. It does my head. As much as I want to see the kids, right, and the under 21s and all that. It pisses me off how the big teams disrespect certain competitions by chucking kids in. And I understand it from both sides. They've got to see the players, they've got to play them, see how they manage the occasion, the atmospheres and all that. I get that, but I would
it's only become a new thing that though, hasn't it? All of a sudden throwing your kids. Because I obviously grew up in the 90s, and I've got to admit, I can't really remember many times when in the FA Cup and stuff like that. Maybe more in the League Cup, but not in the FA Cup where United have thrown out, the kids. I mean, I think the only situation I can remember us rotating quite dramatically was the treble season. I think which we really rotated that FA Cup final. But apart from that, I can't ever really remember us just completely throwing kids in, no matter who we were playing.
But the thing is, though, I mean, you talk about that 99 season, Dietrich. When he rotated, it was still quality players coming in.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, you look at it now, you can't chuck fucking Ethan Law, Chong, and all that lot in to
Led, you have Bernard. Yeah.
But I mean, it's I don't know. Am I just stuck in my ways? Am I an old fuddy duddy or something? I'm just not rolling with the times. I don't know.
No,
but
football has changed now. It's really changed.
Mate, I just get a kick out of seeing I really do. I like to see United win trophies. All right, then, League Cup's not the greatest trophy. Europa League's not a great trophy, and like you said, it's a banana skin, depending where you are at the end of the season. But it's still there to be won.
So here's one for you then, Marcus. Next season, we don't get into the Champions League. We finish, fifth. Crash out of the Champions League quite early, but win a Euro. But win the League Cup. Would you say that would be a success, or would you say that would be no?
I think if I go season by season, right? So I think if we won the League Cup next season and we come in the top 4, right? It depends what happens this summer.
Yeah, you assess
the investment. Yeah. You know what I mean? If you get 3-4 quality players in, then you can say, okay, right, we should have a good run in the cups. We should be coming second or third comfortably in the league. Not challenging, but we can have a good fucking say in who wins it. Basically, it all depends on the summer for me. I think Jay Hart mentioned it earlier. If you've got them Glazers, if they're putting 200 million into the club this summer, right, and I think a lot of that money is going to depend on the Champions League place tomorrow. So, mate, I don't know. I think ask me again once the transfer window's finished, and I'll tell you. All right.
I just thought the fucking Glazers don't do what they normally do. Whenever we finish whenever we're finishing a decent position, I think the Glazers see it as in, they did okay. We don't need to invest that much. I think we did it the season when, I think what was it? Mourinho finished second.
Yeah.
You'd think that was the time to go hard and spend a lot of money, but I think they brought in DeLaw and Fred.
No,
Lee Grant.
Yellow, yeah. Fred. Lee Grant,
Yeah,
yes.
and
This free signing. We had free signings at the time.
the money that was generated then from the Adidas deal and being in Champions League, you thought they'd have gone in, like you said, pretty hard and got some quality players in.
That's my own worry. If we get third, our run is going to go, they're not too far away. They don't need that. In fact, look at Greenwood. We don't need Sancho now.
Yeah.
That's my only worry with our run.
It's also about the mentality.
Well, George Carl says this summer we're getting a maximum of 3 players, and minimum 1 out. I think he's put there. So he's gone for Sancho, Grealish, and Gabriel
from Nantes. Is it?
From Lille. Gabriel's from Lille, I think. Yeah.
Is it Lille?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Lille, French league, isn't it?
Is he a centre back or is he a left back though? Because I've seen mixed reports. One saying he's a left back, one saying I don't know a lot about him.
I don't.
He's a centre back.
I think he's Dia reckons he's centre back. I think he's a centre back as well. I really do.
22.
But let's have a look. Chris says, "What are your expectations with Sancho and without Sancho?" Well, going on to Sancho, we shall go as in what's been reported on Sky Sports News. Kingsley Coman, apparently, we are for as an alternative to Sancho on a loan deal, apparently. If I just bring it up here, Man United consider Coman loan if Sancho pursuit fails. So Kingsley Coman, since restart, let's have a look. They had the stats here for him in the restart thing. So Sancho's got 2 years left. Coman has played 9 times and scored twice following the resumption of the Bundesliga in May. Is that a sort of quality play United should be going for over Sancho? Dia, we'll go with you first, mate. I'm a big Coman fan, mate. I think he's got something about him. He's young. I think he plays an awful lot for Bayern, but he's got some tricks. He's got some speed. He can tackle. I think he's primed for the Premier League myself. And with Leroy Sané going there, could be an opportunity for it. So, Dia, what do you think?
I think he suits the system of Man United, like you say, Marcus. I saw him play. He does fit in the philosophy of Ole because he's quite a young team. He does go with the attack, with all the players' connection, Rashford, Martial. At this age, it would be suitable for him. But as far as I'm concerned, if you bring Coman, he's natural player. He's adapting to his ability. He's trying to do best. But Sancho is more priority for me, to be honest with you, because you can bring Coman as a second option for Rashford to play, but Sancho, he will be in the team. For example, Rashford will play on the left wing, and Sancho will play on the right wing. So Coman, I don't think he will have his place in the club. We need someone like Sancho to set the standard high.
Oh, fair enough. Diedrich, about you, Coman?
I think the only situation that we pursue that deal is if, because I think a journalist said it the other day along the lines of Man United will get Sancho. It just depends on whether it's this season or next on the financial market at the moment. So I think the only way I take that deal is if it is literally a case of right, we'll get Kingsman for now. Sorry, Coleman. Sorry, we get him in now. But if it means that we're guaranteed to get Sancho next season. I mean, I know they can't do that. They can't say right. Well, here he is now holding the shirt. Then also announced, by the way, next season this guy's going. we're getting someone else in. But I think that's the only situation. I think that's why that's pretty much happening. I think, but I also think it's a lot of mind games. I think that's because obviously being in the German league as well, that'll reverberate around Germany. So I think it might just be a little bit of a nudge to Dortmund, like, You keep asking for 120 million, you're getting nothing.
Well, I mean, George said there, Bayern have said they'll not listen to offers. Yeah, they're not interested in selling him, are they? But United feel like there's a loan deal to be done
Yeah,
there.
Christian Falk.
So, yeah,
but at the same time, it does make sense. Well, if they're not interested in selling him, why would they want to loan him?
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. This is why I brought up Sane, because that's the only possible reason I can think of.
Yeah, they've got Gnabry, Sane, obviously Coleman, and I can't think of anyone else. Unless they've got Ian Robin and Frank Ribery knocking about still.
But yeah, I think they pursued Sane for so long. I think Sane's guaranteed to go into that first team straight away. I think the one that drops out of that is Kingsley Coman. Let's have a look. George says Sancho's a done deal if we pay the money. United ain't going to pay that money, mate. They won't pay that money.
I think we'll pay towards 100 million. I think the 50 million one was just laughable.
Well, look, that's what they said, though, isn't it? That was an actual report.
It was. I don't believe it for 1 second, though.
Huh?
Those are too far apart. I can understand if you come out with what pay anything over 80 million. I can understand that. I mean, just for a bit of mind games, but to be like almost more than half of what they're asking for, we want 120 million. We'll give you 50.
I think with the Glazers,
if they honestly rang Dortmund's CEO, and he went, "I'll give 50 million," it'd just be, "Hello, you still there?" Yeah.
I mean, mate, the Glazers are tight asses. We know that. We know there's plenty of money about as fans. They get enough from us through merchandise and ticket sales and God knows what else. I think this pandemic has hit probably United harder than what we believe.
Yeah.
And I think they're tight. They're going to tighten the purse strings. And the way the Glazers think, mate, if there's a guy out there who can do the job for a year, so they wait a year and get a cut price deal on their main target, they'll do it.
But then you run the risk of other eyes, don't you? You run the risk of then Real Madrid coming in for him. Then you run the risk of Barcelona coming in for him. I mean, I don't think City will ever go back in for him. They don't. No. As much as we do, say oil money, they don't tend to spend more than 60 million at a time. City. No, I don't think they'll come back in for him. So I think it would literally be PSG, Real Madrid, and everyone coming sniffing for him if we wait a year. And then that 100 million might become 150 million, 200 million. So it's a bit of a catch-22, really, isn't it?
Well, Hart reckons I'm smoking something I shouldn't be. I'm not Hart, trust me. I'm not.
Smoking devil ways, Marcus.
He also says Muller gets ahead of Koeman, so you can see how crap he is. Dortmund need the money, though. They've sold their good players to Bayern. George Kyle says he thinks it'll be between 80 and 90 million and then 20 or so in add-ons.
Yeah.
That's more realistic. Chris Salazar said their NFL team just signed Tom Brady. Hopefully they'll sign Sancho for us. Mate, a lot of money goes in the Americans, doesn't it, than United. I mean, let's be real about it. They're only interested in United for the money. They don't want to spend if they don't have to. If it comes out of their own pockets, they're not really interested. George Carl says he's guaranteeing me that Sancho will come this summer. I don't see it, mate. I don't see it. I don't see United paying that money for such a young lad who's had a few good seasons in the German league and has not really proven himself in the Premier League.
I think they have to.
Risk. You think so? Yeah.
I think if Ollie's saying I want him, I think you have to. I think they've let him down that many times. At which stage do you then go, right? He wanted Haaland, he didn't get Haaland. He wanted Bellingham, he didn't get Bellingham. At which stage are you actually going to start giving him what he wants? Because ultimately with football, it's the manager who gets the sack. It's not the CEO, is it? It's not the owner.
No.
So
What do you think about a new director of football, Man United.
That's never going to happen.
Do you think
If
it
it does, it'll be a token appointment. You know, it's bad when didn't Patrice ever get offered the job and he turned it down?
I think, yeah, that's a good point. That Dietrich, actually, yeah, totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
George Yoda's on the windowsill, mate, at the minute. I think with Sancho, right? No, he is a good player. He is young, though. That's a hefty price tag on his shoulders. He's still got 2 years on a contract, I believe. I think the only way, because Dortmund, from what I've read, don't need to sell. They're quite happy to let the contract run down to keep him. So I think the only way he gets out there is if he puts in a request, digs his heels in, and says he wants to go.
Well, I think there has been rumblings of him doing stuff off the field, but I don't think they'll let him run down his contract. I think the Dortmund fans have had enough of that because they said that with Lewandowski. They went, "Oh, we're not bothered. We'll let him run down his contract." And look at how that panned out. Same for Hummels. Although Hummels came back, the exact same thing happened with Hummels to Bayern.
Yeah, Dia, what do you think? Do you think he'll have to dig his heels in and say that he wants to go?
Yeah, I believe he will do that. Yeah, but Man United won't be willing to pay this price.
How much are you willing to pay for him then?
He would pay 70 million.
Yeah. You think he's worth that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Because he's young lad, you know.
Yeah, you get, but hopefully, because he's English as well. I mean, touch wood, he's not going to be like someone from the continent who's going to come in for big money and then in 5 years' time say it was his dream to go and play for Real Madrid.
Yeah, that's good point, that one. Yeah, good point. George says if Villa stay up or go down, which will mean he is more likely to leave and Willie. He's on about Grealish.
I think he leaves both. I think both scenarios he leaves. But I think
so, yeah.
I think the price will obviously depend.
Grealish?
If they stay up, his price goes up by 20 million.
You think?
He's the type of player who suits in Man United, I think.
Well, I think I was saying what Diedrich says there. I think if that's the case, Diedrich, I think United will have to make a choice between Grealish or Sancho. I really do, because I can't see them spend 80 to 100 million on each player.
2 players.
Yeah, right. That ain't gonna wash with the shareholders.
No,
so which one do you go for? Which one's more important? I mean, you go with Sancho. I'd go with Grealish, mate. I really would. I can see
Sancho because I think Grealish should be there in a year's time.
Yeah, Dia, who'd you go for then? Sancho, Grealish?
Very difficult. Very difficult because, like Grealish, he has proven in the Premier League. Yeah. But for me personally, I have a difference between Sancho as a young lad. Grealish, he has a bit more experience. But I believe that we need Sancho because the way it is going, we need Sancho.
Well, I got to say, for me, I can't see any decent central midfielders coming through. So for me, I would prioritise Grealish. I think if Sancho comes in, I think Dan James and Mason Greenwood's development will slow dramatically.
Slow, yeah. Very low.
And I think just because of that, I would go for Grealish as my target.
Especially Man United will be able to afford him.
This is it, mate, isn't it? It all comes down to tomorrow, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think, if we get 4th or 3rd tomorrow.
Hopefully we can generate a bit of money with Smalling, because I think I read somewhere today that United aren't willing to extend Alexis Sanchez and Smalling's deals. So I think that's literally saying to them now, right, pay up. You either want them or you don't.
Yeah. Well, I know Roma wants
a bit of money.
Don't they? Roma do want Smalling. Sanchez apparently has had a good bit of form for Inter since the restart. So hopefully, I mean, especially if you get Sanchez off the books, mate. Fucking hell, you know you got to give him credit for that. Jesus Christ. Kylie says we have a lot of very injury-prone players. Of course, we need Sancho. I'm not saying we don't need him. I'm not saying we don't need anyone. I'm just saying, out of the two, I would prefer Grealish because I want to see Mason have a good full season and Dan James have a good full season. Delo's always prized cow for selling. Well, don't forget Lingard as well, mate. Jay Hart says Sancho's more disciplined. Ollie might not agree with Grealish's behaviour outside the pitch. Sometimes you need a bad boy in a team, mate. That's my thought. Jay Hart says Sancho's more. Oh yeah, that's what he said. Yeah. George said Ed will continue to piss money up the wall with his transfers. I don't think. Apart from Grealish and Sancho, I can't think of anyone else we've been heavily linked to.
I think there were There were rumours about Partey. Rumours.
Right.
At the beginning, before this happened. Okay. Obviously, the pandemic. I think he's got a 50 million release clause. I'd have had that done 3 months back. I'd have had that done already. I don't understand why we haven't gone for him. I mean, Matic is what, 32 now? 31?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I'd bring in Partey tomorrow if I could, because I mean I like McTominay and I like Fredish, but I think Partey is just like definitely.
Well,
I think McTominay can go into that. I don't think he's there yet. If we want to be challenging for trophies, we need the best.
So exactly. You go for him as well, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He's perfect because.
Or indeed, from Tottenham, not Tottenham. Leicester. Leicester. Yeah, we'll see him tomorrow. Hopefully, not that good.
This is it, isn't it? You're going to see this lad tomorrow. So,
Leicester.
Right, we shall call it a halt there because Dee's got to go to bed because it's nearly 1 a.m. All right.
Yeah, mate.
So it's Sunday tomorrow. It's fine.
Yeah. So last two comments then. So Jay Hart says, I will sell my shit sooner than Woodward selling Sanchez. And George says, Gabrielle, we have been linked to after the Chelsea game when Maguire and Lindelof put out an Oscar-winning Chuckle Brothers tribute act. Okay. And Jay Hart said, get rid of Pereira and Lingard. That's 200k a week off the book. Mate, Pereira, Jones and Lingard would be the first three I'd get rid of. I don't see
Pereira
what they bring.
has went from Bleach here.
Yeah, so exactly, mate. Yeah.
I actually quite like Pereira at the minute though, because of what he said on Twitter over there. I think he said that James Milner's a dick. James Milner's not. He called him. He considered him something, and then said Van Dijk's arrogant. So
get cocky.
There might be a bit of hope for Pereira.
Okay, all right. Well, that's interesting then. But right, we're going to end it there then. It's nearly an hour. Like I say, Dee's got to get to bed. So thanks everyone for joining.
Pleasure.
Thanks for the guests as normal, and we shall
subscribe.
Yeah, I did put it up with Mark. Put it up there. I missed Mark tonight. Actually, he's not putting many comments tonight. And Chris, mate, this is comment of the night here. This one. That's what we need. Bring back Fellaini. Oh, by the way, I retweeted the survey, right? Between Marouane.
Alex, I'm hoping you'd seen it.
Mate, everyone go on that survey I retweeted and click Marouane, all right? And do me a favour there. But thanks everyone and see you tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.